I think, yeah, we live now.
Bro, I pressed the button. What's up?
Heard you.
Yo, it's a big fan Breezy with the Brooklyn Nets vlog and tea time. He was just here. Trust me, he was. Yeah, man. Mama say, Mama sa, Mumaku sa. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Nets in the building. Knicks fans, and Nets fans in the building. We out here. Shout to the Nets fans and the Knicks fans all over. And yeah, man, we a playoff team now. You know, both teams is playoff teams. Excuse me. And yeah, you know, let me see if I got a different intro. He got Boom Shakalaka. I'm gonna go with Mama Say, Mama Sa, Maku Sa. That's my number one option. Then my number two option is the new look Nets is ready for the best in the East and the West. Okay, how y'all like that? Throw some ones in the chat if you like that. The new look Nets are best and ready for the East and the West. If I flip that bar and put it back to that other bar, like, yo, it's Big Fan Breezy with the Brooklyn Nets vlog, and we out here. We at 6th seed. I started the season saying that we was going to be 1 through 4. We the 6th seed, so I wasn't way off. But considering the circumstances, you gotta. He said, T-Time said he got to restart his laptop. He'll be right back. You know, considering the circumstances, I would say that being a playoff team means a lot. You know, we had superstars on a superstar team last season. And, you know, for the most part, we got swept. Now we could go through the pleasantries and this and that. And case in point is that the team without the superstars were losing games. Jacques Vaughn was able to keep the ship sturdy, keep it steady. He seen the waters that he had to sail and said, I got this, mind you. You see our record. But remember, that don't reflect on what Jacques Vaughn did entirely because of the 10 games that he wasn't there for. His record is 43-31. to my knowledge, or the 8 games or something like that. However many games Nash was there. I don't think the record would have looked like that after 10 games if Jacque Vaughn started the season the way with just Jacque Vaughn. I think we'd be a 50 win team, and I said that. Fraz has early. He said, Knicks run the city. Y'all already know the vibary team. Knicks-ish conglomerate all day, every single day. To stand and show the Knicks run the city. Stop it. They don't run the city. We 2-2. Y'all up just because y'all got that. And we got to be honest because we always go back and forth about who run the city and nobody gives nobody credit. I think we should slow it down and talk about it. I think we should slow it down and talk about it. What up, Barry? What's good, man? You know, we got Press has talking spicy. Y'all know y'all don't run it. Y'all walk it. Y'all wearing chancletas. You know, y'all gotta do more. I don't know if y'all running sneakers. Y'all might be wearing flip flops. Y'all might be wearing slippers because y'all wasn't running the city not with a tie, not with us making the playoffs, defeating the odds. Not with us doing what we did, not for us the way we stepped up. Y'all don't run us. Y'all just got a tie 8-2 since the podcast started. I'm heating up. 8-2 was since the podcast started. So let's keep it real. So again, when you think about the record, when it come down to the Brooklyn Nets and the Knicks, you really want to do something that's entertaining. See us there because we going to the second round and we got a why. We playing with a purpose. We got a why. We playing with house money. We got a why. Everybody said we couldn't do it. We got a why. They dissed Mikal Bridges. They selected the Philadelphia 76ers. They selected him 10th pick out the draft and then traded him. What? Imagine him having an opportunity to play with the 76ers. He would have been doing what he was supposed to do. Probably would have been a better situation from the Suns to Philly. But guess what? Mikal Bridges helped the Suns get to the finals before Philly got to the finals after they drafted Mikal Bridges. How interesting is that? Mikal Bridges is here to play basketball.
Okay.
And win games.
Boom shakalaka. Yes, indeed.
Yeah. What's
boy
good?
here. Yeah, my bad, y'all. Technical difficulties and whatnot. I heard some of your little soliloquy about, man, listen. Y'all still would have been through some kind of turmoil with how the season was going because of the KD and Kyrie saga. That definitely would have still gave some kind of rift because, you know, the problem wasn't just with the coach. It was a problem with the whole organization that Kyrie had, and Kyrie was going to be Kyrie. And I still don't think that y'all do much better having to go through what y'all went through, even with Jacque Vaughn. Yeah, I mean, that's just my 2 cents.
Yeah, but I got 10 cents. You know what I'm saying? You got 2 cents on the Nets. I got about $1. I'm betting on the Nets because I feel like, again, being a fan, watching us go through the turmoil, the turbulence of everything we had to go through as a ball club, as Nash, as I break down this game as a vlogger analytically without just optimism, you see what's going on. Now, that being said, you see the difference between a bad coach and a good coach, and significantly, it's adjustments. Being able to adjust to who the team you're playing and whatever you got going on first, as far as rotation and etc. So, case in point is Jacque Vaughn makes a big difference than having Nash in the driver's seat doing what he do. There's a why with Jacque Vaughn. There's no why with Steve Nash. The why Steve Nash didn't have because he was one of the top paid coaches without doing any coach work prior. Jacque Vaughn, the why, he was a head coach with Orlando Magic, failure at it, but he was ready to compete, got the assistant coach experience from the Brooklyn Nets, and now he's a head coach. He has the why. He wants to win, and I just told you why. That is the difference between Jacque Vaughn and Steve Nash. There's room for improvement for Jacque Vaughn, yes, but at the end of the day, his record is a good 42-31. Like, the whole record don't reflect him because of the 10 games. And I'm saying that to say that my prediction of us being a 1-4 team and a 50-plus win team, I think we would have succeeded in that had he started the beginning of the season. We fell short of that a few games, But as a fan going in 6th seed, I'm not mad. I'm happy. I wanted 5th seed, but the Knicks did what they were supposed to do and they got 5th seed. So I respect it, but I'm not mad being a playoff team. It's not so much a bit about the seeding and the playoff for 1 through 6. It's about it's about us not being 7th or 8th or 9th or whatever. I'm glad we a playoff team, but yeah, man. I know you missed a few minutes, man. Where you want to start at, T-Time?
I mean, no, you started at a good place. You feel me? I mean, you should be happy because it was looking abysmal at one point for you guys. Grim and looked like doom was approaching fastly for you guys. You mean y'all guys lucky that Miami is ass. You feel me? And Miami is horrible, and y'all benefited from the fact that Miami couldn't win games. I ain't gonna hold you. Miami lost some bad ones.
That's on them. They had their team since the beginning of the season. That's on them. I mean, we had the biggest disadvantage.
Listen, I'm not trying to shit on y'all by saying that. I'm just saying that Miami's bad. You feel me? And you need to thank us because a couple of those wins kept them off your back. Pause. You feel me? A couple of those wins the Knicks got on them kept them off your back. You're welcome. You know what I mean? And this is the service that we're doing to little brother. We want y'all to be in the playoffs, so we handle Miami for y'all. You know what I mean? So welcome. But now going on to some Knicks stuff.
Go ahead though.
Yeah, Nah, we 3-1 against them.
We swept
lose
them.
Those games. We win those games. Even if we win those games, they ahead of y'all.
But we swept
we lose
them.
those games. Congratulations, but the fact still remains: if we lose those games to Miami, they be ahead of y'all.
I mean, yeah. So I mean,
that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. But boom, yeah. I mean, shout out to my young guys, man. I love the way they've been balling. I haven't really been able to watch the games because I was, working. But I'm looking at the stats, I'm looking at the highlights, I'm looking at the replays, and I'm like, yes, I love what I see. It's important time for my young guys to be playing the way that they're playing. And when I say the young guys, I'm talking about Emmanuel Quickly, Obi Top, and Quentin Grimes. Those guys have absolutely been balling out of control. I think it's the first, like a few games ago, I forgot against which team. It was the first time in franchise history that the team had 3 people with 30 plus points in the same game. And now those were Emmanuel Quickly, Quentin Grimes, and Obi Toppin absolutely playing high level basketball. Quentin, he's amazing, man. He's amazing. Not only is he guarding the best player on the opposing team, he's coming out and giving buckets now. And this is only year 2. You feel me? And he's only going to get better. You know what I mean? He needs more shot attempts. I believe, because I think since like the All-Star break, he's shooting like 42 from three-point range or something like that. Some wild number, and I was like, that's crazy. You feel me? And every time I look at the box score, I see Quentin Grimes 4 threes, 5 threes, 6 threes. I'm like, made. You feel me? Like, and it's going into the postseason that these guys are getting the confidence that they need, because we don't know if Julius Randle going to play the first round. We're going to need Quentin Grimes to step up. We're going to need Emmanuel Quickly to step up. We're going to need Obi to step up. Because I mean, that's a lot of production you gotta try to make up losing, Julius Randle. And we're not sure if he's gonna play, if he's not gonna play. They're gonna wait him before the players start. But ankle sprain, I think he's gonna be out at least a week after. Yeah, I mean, everybody know how ankles work. Like, them things are tricky. You feel me? The fact that he toughed it out, but then he was barely able to walk off the court on his own. Then didn't look too great to me, right? Good news though. Yeah, I mean, good news though. We washed the Cavaliers up even without Drew. I mean, Jalen Brunson gave them a 48 piece. You feel me? 48 piece, no drink, no fries, 48 piece. You know what I mean? And this is what is going to continue to happen to Donovan Mitchell every time he plays Jalen Brunson. This is what is going to happen. This is what is going to happen. I see the comments. We will go about that, y'all. I got jokes. But this is what's going to continue to happen every time Donovan Mitchell line up against Jalen Brunson. This is not an admiration. That was not a fluke. That is not a one-off type thing. He did the same thing to Donovan Mitchell in the playoffs last year and send Donovan Mitchell home. And I think that continues with or without Julius Randle. Because like I said, the last time we was here, we got heart and they don't. And that all pun intended, you feel me? Just the way we play basketball is different. You know what I mean, than how they play basketball. They gonna score, but we play with that determination and will to win. Even in the last game, I'm being long-winded. I'm gonna land the plane. Even in the last game against the Pelicans, we lost. But I got to see bits and pieces of that game. They had all their starters in. You feel me? All of them. And we talking about like the Pelicans, their record really don't reflect the talent on the roster. You talking about Brandon Ingram, CJ McCollum. They nice. You feel me? And we gave them a run for our money. We played hard that whole entire game, and we playing with our bench pretty much. You know what I mean? RJ Barrett. That's who was playing. The bench and RJ Barrett. And we still gave them a run for their money. And they playing with, and the Pelicans are playing with desperation. They fighting for something right now. Like, we already locked up. And to see us give that kind of effort, even though that we know our spot is solidified, it is impressive to see how Coach got these guys playing. I apologize to Coach on my last live that I did for Nixon Ish. I was like, yo, my bad, Coach. You feel me? I was on the fire Coach Tommy T train. I didn't see the vision the way you saw the vision. And you got these dudes, you got these dudes playing. You know what I mean? And I ain't got no smoke for Coach Tommy T. And to see how hard he got these guys playing on a night-to-night basis, I do credit that to some of Josh Hart because that effort and determination is infectious. And I think him coming to the team has brought that to, the rest of the guys. You feel me? So, but his coach too, man. I appreciate some of the rotations that he's been using down the stretch. I'm surprised at our offensive production as a Coach Tommy T team, especially when Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson was out a few games. I like the way the ball's been moving. You feel me? Like it's mad ball movement. And I'm like, this don't even look like a Coach Tommy T team. Like they're sprinting up the court off makes and misses and getting early offense going. I'm like, this can't be Coach Tommy T team. Like he's known for having the slowest pace in the NBA every year. So to see these guys pushing the tempo, I love to see it. I love to see it. And I'm going to land the plane there. Let's go Knicks. Knicks in 6. Cleveland going to pack them up. And I'm getting blocked by Stephen A. Smith once we beat the Cavaliers. I'm telling you. I'm going to make him block me on Twitter. I'm going to make him. But go ahead.
Shout out to all my Nets fans. We the best fans. Now, I just want to say, I didn't know that I was going to set the tempo. I put excessive capping in the chat will result to Big Fan Breezy cooking Knicks fans and haven't seen a comment since. I guess Kev know what time it is. Fresh has as well. Now, that being said, you don't see the bottom or what's scrolling on the bottom?
Oh, yeah, I'll get it. Yeah.
So it looked like I set the tone there, you know what I mean? Good. Now I want to start a pot. I give no credit to Tommy T. I give all credit to Rick Brunson and Jalen Brunson. Now let's call it this: the Iron Fist in the red velvet glove. Rick Brunson is the Iron Fist. Tommy T, the red velvet glove. The kids are being played because that's what Rick Brunson and Jalen Brunson were. Not to mention, Mark Cuban said we had Brunson until the parents got involved. Seemed like some other stuff was going on. Now this is just what the NBA streets is saying. But what I will say is this: Tommy, the Nets went to the playoffs 5 years in a row. The coach of the year, Tommy T, missed the playoffs the very next season. Then it looked like he needed some assistance. That assistance came with a package. Came with a player, Jalen Brunson and Rick Brunson. Mark Cuban is upset. out there kicking up dust about how we had Brunson until the parents got involved. Now, that being said, I'm going to kick up more dust, stir the pot a little more. We see Kyrie Irving, like him or not, he ain't all that. Mavs, they missed the postseason. You see KD over there with the Suns, 8-0. I'm just calling it like I see it. And it might look like when you talk about Brunson and Kyrie and look at the Mavs team, it goes to show that my point of when you start or you have these new guys on your team from the trade deadline that's supposed to do this miraculous basketball and keep you in contention, it only comes from the elite players. And I think KD separated himself from Kyrie on a winning side of basketball with this trade deadline. The Phoenix Suns look like they want to trade first. The Brooklyn Nets look like they want to trade second. And Kyrie Irving and the Dallas Mavericks did not win that trade. We won that trade. So you could say that the Phoenix Suns won over the Brooklyn Nets, but the Brooklyn Nets definitely won over Dallas. And, I mean, we got Mikal Bridges, so I don't want to call it a loss because his production, he was just player of the week, averaging 33 for the week. We won 4. I predicted 4-0 being optimistic. We were 3-4. I mean, we out here playing good basketball. And again, to my point last week, we had, and like I said, I break the game down. We had 27 assists one game. We had 37 assists one game. Again, all of this, I don't want to hear no spicy talk about Spencer. He had 14 assists last night. The other night, he had 16 assists. He's been averaging 10 assists since like March 1st. At 11, the last 12 out of 16 games, he's averaged 10 assists, 10.1 assists a game. He is playing basketball. Now, I'll land the plane after I say this comment, since you're ready to cook. I go in the game tapes, and I look, and I say, what do I see? The first time I pulled out the violin on a Knicks fan named T-Time is when he said, they had a strong team, we had a weak team. So I rebuttal, and this all in the game tapes. I'm going to probably release it later when we was on Reflex Radio talking about the Atlanta series versus the Knicks. And he said, we washed them in the regular season. We're going to wash them in the playoffs. About, oh, no. When we broke it down and we looked at it and he analytically broke it down there after what he said, he realized what they did to Randall to stifle him. So I said, in the offseason, what y'all going to do about it? Y'all going to look for a number one guy. Said, nope, this and that in the third. He remembers what he said. I won't have to speak for him because he's right there. Went out, got Kemba Walker. Y'all see how that season went. Y'all missed the playoffs. Talk to me nice. Then what y'all do? Go out and get a number one player in Jalen Brunson. Now,
he's not the number one, but
we won't sit here and make it seem like Jalen Brunson ain't the number one guard, or he could on night to night be the number 2 or number 1 guy, but he's never the number 3 guy.
I never said he was the number. He's not the number 1. Julius Randle's still the number 1 on the team.
That shit is interchangeable, bro. From what I've seen,
but when it's a number,
contrast,
when you have a team with a number 1, 2, and number 1 and number 2 guy is always interchangeable. Like look at Jason Tatum and look at Jaylen Brown
to make Randall the number 1 guy. Is my point. So y'all missed the. I'm gonna land a plane saying this. This is my whole point of breaking that all down. Is when y'all kept Randall the number 1, strong number 1 guy, and got Kemba to kind of just assist or facilitate or whatnot. It did not work. Period. When y'all got Brunson, somebody that could interchange with Randall and be the number 1 or 2 night to night, game to game, that's where y'all went back to the playoffs and succeeded to where y'all at now. So again, when I look at the vlog and from when I started, I don't see how you cooking shit. I was on point then. I'm on point now. Your whole conglomerate, Cav, Fraz, Taz, all of them that you named prior, they all can get that work. Anybody from this network to the biggest network, they all can get that work because I break it down. I break it down and I leave Knicks fans with frowns.
Please let me work. Let me work. Oh, it's so much cap in this rap right now that I'm about to cook. About to go Benny Hannes on you guys. Get your plates ready. I'm about to flambe this guy right in front of your face. First of all, when you talk about Jalen Brunson and the trade, Mark Cuban is salty. Mark Cuban tried to lowball Jalen Brunson, didn't give him the bread that he deserved, and that's why he lost Jalen Brunson. And his father did assist, not gonna lie, his pops. But him and Coach Tommy T had. So even Brunson wasn't on the team, he still had a connection with Coach Tommy T. So give the coach his credit. Give the coach his credit. You feel me? And before Jalen Brunson got here, he had the Knicks in the playoffs. Yeah, we missed the last year, but the year before we was in the playoffs after an 8-year drought. His first season as head coach of the New York Knicks. Watch your Knick fan mouth, Breezy. Knick fan Breezy. You feel me? Watch your Knick fan mouth. So when you talk about Jalen Brunson and his coming to the Knicks, make sure you take the salt out of your system, like Mark Cuban got the salt in his system. Mark Cuban is Ocean. I'm trying to figure out how salty you are. Saltine cracker or Ocean, where do you fit in between? Because you sound salty.
No,
you feel me? So when it comes to Jalen Brunson, he's on the team because of Coach Tommy T and his dad. Not just that. And the Mavericks lowballed him. They did not want to give him the bread he deserved. So that's why Mark Cuban lost Jalen Brunson, and Mark Cuban is salty. And I think they purposely tanked so the Knicks couldn't get their first round pick.
I'll agree with that.
That's how salty Mark Cuban is.
I agree with that. Well, I agree with that.
So I don't want to hear your rumors and Mark Cuban on crying. I don't want to hear your rumors and you using what Mark Cuban crying. You feel me? Because he's been crying since we signed Jalen Brunson. Been crying since. And listen, be perfectly honest. Look, I think, and when you talk about the Dallas Mavericks and why they doing bad, I don't think it's because of Kyrie. If you look at the plus or minus since Kyrie been there, Kyrie has a high plus minus. I think he's like a plus 100 and something.
No, I'm saying that we won the trade.
Listen, I'm saying the reason why the team is playing bad and not succeeding, you have to start blaming Luka Doncic. Like how many, how many different variations of teams he had? He had Kristaps Porzingis. They didn't do nothing. Mm-hmm. You feel me? Like, so when do you start blaming Luka? And he's a negative 100 and something since Kyrie been there. You feel me? Like, yes, he's scoring and all that, but he doesn't play defense. He doesn't play defense. You feel me? So at some point, you gotta blame Luka Doncic. You know what I mean? So I mean, if you want to say you want to trade, I'm not even gonna argue with that because that's not even my business.
Right? It's not.
I don't even care. But when you talk about how you be cooking, man, listen, the sun shines on a dog ass every once in a while, bro. You got that one right. But guess what? You don't be right about your own team. You don't be right. So you talk about the one time you talking about the one time that you right about the Knicks, but how many times you was wrong about your team? How many championships you was supposed to win? What KD and Kyrie was supposed to do? How you said KD was committed? KD and Kyrie was committed to Brooklyn. They love Brooklyn. They're gonna retire here. That was you. You were wrong. You went into the playoffs last year, said that y'all was gonna give the Boston Celtics work. What happened? Y'all didn't even win a game. Swept.
No, we didn't. No.
Swept. So when you talk about, you be cooking, you get cooked, boy. I told you that was going to happen to y'all last year. I told you that the Boston Celtics were going to pack y'all up and get y'all out of there. And I told you why they was going to do it.
Look, hold on. I want to say this.
I told you why. And I told you why they was going to do it. And I was
right. Hold on. Let me say this.
I broke it the same way that I broke it down analytically against the Knicks and the Hawks. I broke it down analytically to you about the Nets and the Boston Celtics, and y'all got packed. Bro, at least we won a game.
I'm saying again.
Playoff series, y'all got packed.
What I'm saying is I'm not disagreeing with it, and they not on the team no more. I don't care. Say whatever. But my point is, again, when Jay Fluky, you on the show, I'm watching it. You know, I'm going back and watching the game tapes. And I say, you going for the Bucks because they go in versus the Nets. You say, yup. Right there on the show. So don't make it seem like
I don't like your team.
Right. So that being said, It's not necessarily, and then again, this is what I'm saying. Y'all go against me and make it seem like I'm a Knicks fan because why? I'm telling you because of the post, or is it because I said I want y'all to be the second best team in the city? I really want y'all to do good. Excuse me. In my opinion, this is what I'm saying. The why, and storylines are built on NBA as far as narrative is concerned, but this is mine. When it come down to the Philadelphia 76ers, the why is what they did to Mikal Bridges. They drafted him, then traded him, and if they would have had Mikal Bridges right now, more than that, the Suns went to the finals before the 76ers went to the finals after Mikal Bridges got traded to the Suns on draft day. Mikal Bridges has a why on why we should beat the 76ers. And not to mention, they've been a thorn in our side since the beginning of the merger. They were the benefactors of Dr. J coming to the team. They seen our team get disassembled, and they got Dr. J. They absorbed Dr. J on their roster because of it. And they won their only fucking, pardon my language, they won their only championship with Dr. J. To my knowledge, they haven't won one, but prior or after than that team with Dr. J. So my point is, everybody eating off of the Nets. Everybody gets to do whatever. Nah, we changing the narrative. That shit, the Philadelphia 76ers will no longer benefit, and Mikal Bridges is the one that's going to turn the table. He's the number one option. That's why he got the number one. He wearing the number one with the Brooklyn Nets. That's why his jersey got the number one on it. He going to give the Brooklyn Nets their first championships. That's why he wearing the number one on his jersey. Like, he got many reasons on why he wearing the number one. And again, when it comes down to coaching and building what we were doing, again, I give a lot of credit to Sean Marks guy getting Spencer back. That shit is a huge relief. And I guarantee whatever ceiling that KD and Kyrie left from that 4 season stint, that we more than likely cover that this season. I'm confident we go to the second round. I don't got the 76ers packing nothing but 76 excuses on why they didn't beat the Brooklyn Nets. I got us winning 4-2 in the playoffs. Facts. I think we win that first game, and I think we win that first game. They win the second game. We win the next two. Then they win at home, and then we win that last sixth game at home. I don't think they go back to Philly for the seventh game.
All right, so Philadelphia 76ers got 3 championships. Just the FYI. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But the last one they got was with Dr. J. So
okay.
Y'all gonna get packed.
It's the last one they ever gonna get.
Listen,
Nets in them,
it's always, I love it around this time of year because you come with your fairy tale narratives about.
No, that's not fairy tale.
I mean, I'm talking about. I mean, fairy tale as far as like. This is why it's going to happen because of
the way I put it together. You like that? You like the way
it's hilarious to me. I like being entertained, and I'm thoroughly entertained every time you do it because.
Well, listen, this is more wisdom. I'm not trying to entertain.
The storyline don't make the talent better, bro. Like that just don't not how it worked, man. And y'all ain't got nothing for Joel Embiid, bro. And that's just the fact of the matter. You feel me? Y'all have nothing.
He can't beat this by himself. He can't.
Oh, he don't have to. That team plays really well. James Harden's still gonna give y'all about 18 and 10. You feel me? 18, 6 and 10. He definitely gonna give y'all about 18, 6 and 10. You know what I mean?
Now with Mikal Bridges on the perimeter, I don't see it. At what clip? At a low percentage.
And then you still got Tobias Harris and Maxey to worry about. Their bench is really good. They what's that kid that shoot the threes? I can't remember his name. But they got a really good team of it. No,
Joe
I'm not
Harris.
talking about
Steph Curry. Steph Curry.
Not talking about those guys. You feel me? I'm talking about.
You said the guys that shoot the threes. Royce O'Neal.
Ning Yang, that's his name. Ning Yang. That boy could shoot. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I don't know. They got a really good team over there, man. And that whole because Mikal Bridges was drafted by them, now they're playing him in the playoffs. That means nothing.
Yeah, he got the why. He plays with a why.
Yeah, bro, you give a why every year. You give a why every year, and guess what happens? Y'all go home. You give a why every year. Every year. three postseasons now we've been doing the show, and every year you give this is why we win, and then y'all get packed up. You
But
feel
y'all
me?
don't
Like, so,
even go every postseason.
yo, listen, I'm content with 2 out of 3 because we didn't have superstars on our team. You know what I mean? Like, I'm
Now
content
y'all
with 2
do.
out of 3. Oh yeah, I consider, in my eyes, maybe the rest of the league don't consider. I won't say superstar, but stars. You feel me? The
So how
rest of the
many
league
stars
may
y'all
not. Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson,
So
absolutely, all day in
how
America.
far, as far
So,
as 2 stars, how far should 2 stars take a team?
oh,
Because we
we
had
getting
a
out.
different.
Y'all had
Y'all
2
said that two
superstars.
stars should have took a team to the
No, yeah,
finals.
no,
So
y'all
I'm
had 2
just
superstars. Y'all had 2 of the best top 10 players in the NBA on your team. We still talking about a different stratosphere. Y'all had 2 of the top
okay.
10 best players in the whole entire NBA. And in my eyes, I love Julius Randle, but he's not a top 10 player yet. You feel me? Jalen Brunson, not a top 10 player yet. I think they both fall between 20 and 15, absolutely, all day in America. But they're not top 10 yet. But y'all had 2 top 10 players. You feel me? 2 future Hall of Famers. And the story still is yet to be written on Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle's Hall of Fame careers. Like, we still got a lot more work to do before we can even talk about them in that breath, right? But those guys, that's why y'all should have went further. You feel me? Because y'all had 2 top 10 players on the team. But anyway,
Can I make a point to that?
No, wait, hold on. I'm not done. You asked the question how far we get, right? So
Yeah,
the question, how far we get, when we win the first round, I'm satisfied. You feel me? I'm satisfied. And we got to make the second round a fight because more than likely we be playing the Bucks. I don't really like the way we match up against the Bucks as of right now. You know what I mean? But do I think we could take them to a 7-game series all day in America? So I'm content with making it to the second round because we're ahead of schedule. Our GM said 4 or 5 years we'll be a contending team, and we're ahead of schedule. You feel me? And I took it more as 5 years for us to be a contending team. This is year 3 under their reign. You feel me? And we're back in a solid place. We got a shit ton of young talent, shit ton of draft capital, and the Knicks is looking sexy for a potential star to want to come. Pause. That was crazy. That whole sentence was wild. But yeah, we're looking like we're starting to look like a destination that another, high level player might want to be here. Jaylen Brown ain't looking too happy in Boston. You feel me? He ain't looking too happy. The comments that he's making about his long-term future is looking a little bit shaky. You feel me? Now we in a position where he could look at New York and be like, I like what they're doing over there. But they do have the draft capital and the talent to make it work. You feel me? Shout out to BJ Sam into the chat. But yeah, if you ask how far I think we go, I think second round is really good for us because we're probably gonna end up playing the Bucks. But if we somehow end up playing Boston, I think we beat Boston in the second round. But second round I'm content with that. And I land the plane there.
I hear that. Shout out to BJ Sam. You is all smoke. You know that. Marlon, I see you talking spicy. Did a whole half-hour video on my page. Got smoke for all that. C Cav, he did another half-hour video on my page. Got smoke for all that. Now, what are y'all really saying? When it come down to Marlon, and when it come down to the fans, the only reason why I said what I said is because you pretended to be something until Kev gave you the courage. He walked you down the yellow brick road and said, look, there's a little light right there called being a Knicks fan. I want to show you the way. You was on Big Fan Breezy page where all we do is talk about the Brooklyn Nets for the most part. And what you do, you let a Knicks fan say, come this way, and you followed him to the land of the Knicks fans. And now you there. So I said, stay there. So now what? Do something. Now, when it come down to BJ Samuel, bro, I don't know what the hell you even talking about running the city for when you see since the podcast started, we 8-2. When it come down to wins and losses at home, when we talk about who run the city, are we even being fair with each other? Let's talk about it. Are we even being fair, or are we just going back and forth? Are we really calling it a winner, or are we just going back and forth? Now, if we are, I want to say the first season of the podcast, we won. Yeah, I think we won. We beat y'all in the sweep, and on top of beating y'all in the sweep, we went to the playoffs and further than y'all in the playoffs. The second season, y'all missed the playoffs. I think we won that. I think the only season for y'all to debate if y'all won would be this season with the tie because y'all fifth seed in the playoffs and we sixth, and y'all probably got more home wins. But that's if we being technical about who won it, or again, like I said, are we just going back and forth? Now, I know that there's a tie between said teams, Nets versus Knicks, in the playoffs. Straight tie. If we see y'all in the playoffs, it will break the tie. And I want to break that tie. I swear. I want to break that tie. I don't want to be tied with y'all in the playoffs. When this podcast started, y'all had more regular season wins than us. And that's not what it is now. Now we got more regular season wins and we up at like 2 or 3, I think. The most, max. And I think the only likelihood of us seeing each other in the playoffs is the second round or the finals. I mean, the conference finals.
Yep.
If it happens, I think it's the conference finals.
Yeah,
I think
it is the conference finals.
So I don't know the last time that happened. You know what I'm saying? I don't know the last time the 6th seed met the 5th seed in the finals. I
don't think it's
don't
ever
know
happened.
if it ever happened. The last time the 6th seed went to the finals is I could just remember Houston, but I'm not sure if they faced the 5th seed. This might be history in the making if the Knicks and Nets could actually get it done. Can we? We'll see. The odds are against the Brooklyn Nets versus the 76ers. You hear everything people saying about Joel Embiid and him being the more than likely MVP of the league. And again, I don't think one player could be this. He named Niang as an attack. Listen, they do got a good team and they well knitted and they be playing together since the beginning of the season. But for them to have to win from a 2-minute report the last time we played them gives me confidence. The 2-minute report came out. Now, what I will say is this don't mean nothing until that new agreement from the NBA has the 2-minute report in it, and they have some type of way where they fix teams losing because of a ref missing a call. Miss me with that. You know what I'm saying? But we only lost because in my opinion, the refs missed the call. If the refs don't miss the call and we get to the free throw line, we have a real opportunity, not a Hail Mary from half court, but a real opportunity to win that game from the free throw line. So I see all of those games being close games, kind of like the Celtics was, but I think we come on top some of those games. I think all wins for the Brooklyn Nets are by 3+ or more. Single-digit wins for the most part. I don't see no double-digit wins for the Brooklyn Nets in the 76ers series, but I do see us competing with them and look for us to try to steal that first game and when we get to Philly. And we got the advantage because we played them the last game of the season. So maybe we get the upper hand on them, in that first game of the playoffs, which is right around the corner. The last game of the season for us is tomorrow. We play 1:00 versus the 76ers. We want to win that game and go into the playoffs with a win streak. When's you guys' last game?
Sunday. Sunday, is it? I believe so. But hold on, Marlon. I got you, Brody. Don't even worry, man. Hold on. Let's bring that back, man. Marlon.
The Nick fan tone when you're talking about Nick fan Precy. Please, man.
So listen, man. Marlon, man, I got you. Don't even worry about it, bro. You know what I mean?
He can't save you, Marlon. You still got to come up for a one-on-one. He can't save you for that either.
Got you, Marlon. So
no, he don't got
you said when's our last game? I think our last game is on Sunday against the Pacers. Yeah, that's our last game. Tomorrow against the Pacers, 1 p.m. We beat them already with the kids. That's the game that all the kids went crazy, and they're tanking pretty much because they trash. Yeah, I mean they trash. And I just want to go on to a little tangent real quick, a little rant. Now that the season is coming to a close, and I went into the season and I'm watching, sports media all over the place. I'm watching them literally take a shit on the New York Knicks, uh, calling us a somewhere between the 12th and 10th seed. Uh, they had a whole slew of names that they said that are better than us, that we don't have the talent that can compare to those guys. And look at us now. You know what I mean? Look at us now. And most of them said that we was going to be a 37 win team, somewhere between 37 and 35 win team. Uh, Look at us now. 47 wins in. Probably going to be 48 on Sunday. Uh, and all the teams that they said that was better than us, they're looking up at us now. And this staying in most. You feel me? That goes for your team. That goes for the Heat. That's for the Hawks. That goes for the Raptors. That goes for the Bulls. That goes for the Wizards. And that goes for the Pacers. These are all teams that they were saying. Well, I knew that. Well, they were saying the Hornets too. But after Miles Bridges got hurt, his shit, and Melo hurt, I knew that he them, and I'm pretty much sure everybody else. But all that shit that they was talking, and now look at us. You feel me? Now look at us ahead of all those guys. Yeah, I mean,
I see.
almost a 50-win season. You feel me? Almost. Yeah, I mean, and it's beautiful to see. They was giving us all this shit about not signing Donovan Mitchell, but look, we right like all that the Cavaliers gave up, because they gave up a lot. All they gave up for them just to only be one seed ahead of the New York Knicks, the team that decided to stay pat and work with the young kids and let the young kids develop instead of shipping all them off and a whole bunch of draft capital. You know what I mean? RJ Barrett, that's facts. I was just about to say the same shit, BJ. RJ Barrett in the beginning of the season said we're gonna shock the world. And in the first round, we're gonna have the best opportunity to do that, because we're gonna pack the Cleveland Cavaliers up. Donovan Mitchell is nice. I'm not taking nothing away from him, but from his history in the playoffs is not good. Darius Garland, they've been playing really good basketball as of late. Like they're gonna get packed up, and we're gonna shock the world, and then they're gonna have to put respect on the New York Knicks name. They should already be doing such. You feel me? They should already be apologizing. But all I keep on hearing every time I turn on to sports media is a new goalpost being moved. They continually trying to move the goalposts on the New York Knicks. Because at first we wasn't supposed to even make the playoffs, fighting for the play-in. Now that we're surpassed that, now they're trying to say it ain't good enough if we don't get out the first round. That's cap. That is cap. I think the season is a success even if we don't get out the first round. Right? The season is absolute 100% success, even if we don't get out the first round, because we wasn't even supposed to be here.
So what's your record? What's your record to versus the Cavs this season, regular season?
We 3-1. We 3-1.
Okay. Sort of like how it was with Atlanta and the Knicks.
Yeah. I ain't worried about it. It's a different team now. Yeah, and I'm telling you, it's a different team now. You can't defend Julius Randle the same way that they defended Julius Randle in that series. You can't put the whole entire defense in the paint for Julius Randle. You know why? Because if you do, the man, you quickly gonna light your ass up from three. Quentin Grimes gonna light your ass up from three. Jalen Brunson gonna light your ass up from three. Obi Toppin, better in his last stretch, been better 3-point shooter, gonna light your ass up from three. Josh Hart, since he's been on the Knicks, I think he's shooting like 50-something% from 3-point range. Light your ass up from three. So you try to play that kind of defense just to stop Julius Randle, it's going to be a bad day for you. It's going to be a bad day for you. It was a different team. And speaking of Atlanta, I'm glad that you brought their names up. Yeah, another team that did all that work, trade all those pieces for DeJounte Murray. Now look at them. Look at them. 8 seed. Terrible. 8 seed. They probably gonna get bumped out of the play-in by the Bulls. 8 seed.
So the play-in is Atlanta versus Chicago?
Yeah. No. Okay. Wrong. It's Atlanta versus the Raptors. Oh, they definitely going home there.
Yeah, Raptors got Podol.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they got Purtle, and they're gonna make it difficult for Trey Young. That's a long team. Pause. They they the whole team has got like a 8 foot wingspan for real, except for Fred Van Vliet, and you know they're not gonna put Fred Van Vliet on what you call it, Trey Young. But yeah, man, it's beautiful to see all those guys, all those media sports heads need to be ashamed of themselves or how they still try to shit on the Knicks, even though we are fifth seed. I've never seen it before. I've never seen it before. A team that be, as good as the Knicks in the middle of the pack in the Eastern Conference, especially one that was overachieving all the expectations, still get this kind of disrespect. You know what I mean? Still do.
Mhm.
And we're going like RJ Barrett said, I'm landing the plane right now. Like RJ Barrett said, we're gonna shock the world, man. All right, I digress.
Oh, I'm listening to you. You finished?
I'm done. I said I digress. Yeah.
Okay, okay. All right. Well, I had Katie on with that. Comments, just talking shit. Uh, Shout to the fifth seed that who was the fifth seed that won the championship? There's only one team, I believe, that won the championship from the fifth seed. Only one. And the sixth seed won, and I think that was Houston, that 95 Houston Rocket team.
Yeah.
Listening to Jack Vaughn post game interview was really refreshing, and he was talking about how we won and got where we are right now collectively as a group. He said that in his post game interview yesterday, and it was dope to hear him talk like that because you win with a team by committee, and I think we win like that based on what I read about the ABA champions and multiple players scoring in double digits. I'm talking 4 or 5. It's really 4 or 5 players in double digits. We're gonna need contributions on both sides of the ball from all players. But we don't have anyone like Kevin Durant where we could just call ISO and get a basket. It's at the same elite level as Kevin Durant. We got Mikal Bridges, and yeah, sometimes that is good for us to go to him to score us a bucket. But consistently as a Kevin Durant, nah, we win more by committee, more because we moving the ball around and got 27 plus 30 assists, high assists in the game. We've been winning like that. We've been shooting at a high clip from the 3-point line. That's how we've been winning games. We haven't been winning games by one player dominating. But that being said, Mikal Bridges, he scored 40 points like 10 times this season. He's been really playing good basketball. Well, the Nets, we 11-4 record since trading away Kyrie and Kevin Durant. We've been winning more games than not. Sometimes the record don't reflect it, depending on how you're looking at it. But when the team finally gelled together and all of these 4 new starters is on the floor together, you feel what I'm saying? They playing better basketball than not. And the games that we did lose, they weren't blowouts. They were close. So we compete even when we do lose. So we always out there, you know what I'm saying, competing. And I think this team is starting to believe in each other, which is hard to ask from guys that just begin to play with each other for 30 games, versus a team that been together for maybe one season or more. Some of these teams in the playoffs been, as a matter of fact, all of the teams that's higher than the Brooklyn Nets been teammates for longer than the Brooklyn Nets, 1 through 5. All of those guys for the most part had their core and teams from the beginning of the season, and they may have added a piece here, and a piece there for the most part. But that's where we're up against, and that's the significance of me always mentioning how much assists we have from game to game, because that's the only advantage, in my opinion, that these teams have over us. And again, Philadelphia 76ers, I got nothing to sneeze at to say like we're gonna beat them because they're bad. But they haven't proven themselves in the playoffs neither. They could have showed up. And again, I did kind of put an asterisk next to it because of Ben Simmons. And, I'm not going to say what he did in that playoffs, but I won't say that he helped them win that series versus Atlanta. So, that being said,
He's
It could go.
literally the reason why they lost.
Yeah, so you know what I mean. I don't want to put that on them to say that they're going to lose based on what they did last season, but they haven't won it. Even they got close, but then Kawhi broke their heart. You know what I mean? See Embiid, you know what I'm saying? Take that loss to the Toronto Raptors that year.
And
I mean,
it took a last second shot for them to lose too. And like one of the craziest bounces off the rim I've ever seen at a last second shot to go in. So it was close.
No, they competed, but they haven't proved that they could get to the finals. They've been to the Eastern Conference Finals, but they haven't got to the finals since Joel Embiid been there. Since Harden, well, I won't say Harden because he just got there, but since Joel Embiid got there, their process and everything going on with them, they haven't gotten there yet. And with Mikal Bridges in their way, I don't think they're gonna get there now. They shouldn't have violated. You got Mikal Bridges. He went to Villanova. His mama worked for the 76ers, told everybody, all her friends, Charlie said, come over after the draft party. We going to celebrate because my son going to be playing with the 76ers. Had to call them back. Everybody disappointed. He's going somewhere that is his family never been. And think about the people in Philadelphia. You think they've been to Phoenix? It's hot there. Who said they even want to travel there? They did a disservice to Mikal Bridges by sending him to Phoenix. And like I said earlier in the conversation, he and the Phoenix Suns went to the finals before Joel Embiid and the 76ers. So put that in your pipe and smoke it. Now, when it comes down to the Brooklyn Nets, we ain't coming there to say, oh, we glad we made it. Now, we coming there to kick up dust in 76 ways and show them 76 reasons why we leaving here and they going home. If they nice enough, we'll send them brochures for them to go to places like Cancun and Miami and things of that nature so they can enjoy themselves while we are putting in overtime in the second round. They can go and do something different. Give back to your community. Do whatever. You have an annual barbecue. Do whatever y'all like, but it won't be going to the second round because that's what Brooklyn Nets are going. And the Nets fans, we're going to be happy to see us go there. And we're going to consider our team a success for just reaching the second round. Considering, and I'm asking everybody, y'all could say how y'all feel, but considering everything, me going look as a fan, looking at the Nets go from a championship team, contending team, to or bust to them retooling the way they did. I cannot consider this a championship contending team or a bust. But if I had to choose between the two, I would say we trying to contend more than trying to bust. And I think the way we play in these playoffs is going to attract teams to want to play with us in the offseason. And I think this group is a very different identity from what we were when KD and Kyrie are here. This is more of the Brooklyn Nets identity as a team than it ever since Dinwiddie was here before. We getting back to that identity. So yeah, man, I just want to leave off saying I'm confident we going that get a win for that next game tomorrow versus Philly. And shit, man, I don't think the next time we see y'all on next Saturday, I think the playoffs start that day. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna check right now. But
I don't know. Nah, because the play-ins, I think, take up the whole week.
The play-ins start on the 11th.
Yeah, I don't really consider that the playoffs, but
no. I'm saying that's what I'm saying. The next time we come back here, I don't think we play a playoff game yet unless it's next Saturday.
No. Yeah, I don't think the playoffs. I don't know. Wait, hold on. Playing until April 15th, actually. So yeah,
I'm looking at it now.
We will be here after the playoffs start.
So we play, but when's it? Yeah,
the first day is the 15th. That's the day that the playoffs start. That day, you was right. Mm-hmm. The playoffs start that day. But to answer some of the things you said real quick, I think the 76 is going to do Mikal Bridges another disservice and send him home in 5. Yeah, that's gonna happen.
I
That
just
disservice gonna happen to the Brooklyn Nets, and Mikal Bridges gonna get another disservice done to him by the 76ers and being sent home in 5. You can't restart the expectations mid-season, bro. Your season is a bust. This season's a bust. The fact
No,
that y'all
I
had
don't
to
think
trade,
no.
the fact that you can't reset expectations. You feel me?
No, I don't
Your
feel you.
team had to trade both superstars. That's a your season, and both of your superstars make the season a bust because y'all went into the season expecting these guys to be here for the whole season. Y'all didn't go into the season say midway we're gonna trade these guys. No, y'all went into saying we going to the playoffs. We're gonna go forward. We're trying to win a championship, and y'all the fact that y'all had to trade those guys makes the season a bust. And the fact that the expectation that now you're talking about just us making it to the second round would be no, that's not a success because you had championship aspirations when the season started. Now because it's bad and it doesn't look like that's going to happen, you don't get to change the expectations for the season. It is a
No, that's not
bust.
what I'm doing.
It's a bust. Next season, you could say making it to the second round is a success for you guys. But this season is a bust. It's a bust. It's a wash. It's a wrap because y'all had championship aspirations. Now you're talking about if we just make it to the second round as a success. No, you don't get to do that. You don't get to do that.
No, I'm gonna tell you why. And two things. One, I'll tell you why. Secondly, I'll tell you why it ain't that easy a walk in the park. Like not a walk in the park, but why I think Cleveland could beat y'all just to be the adversary. You know what I mean? Or the bad guy, whatever. Case in point is this. When it come down to y'all, well, I'll start with the Cleveland thing first. I think y'all could lose to Cleveland for the simple fact that y'all play the same team 4 times in a row. And y'all haven't proven that just because y'all beat them in the regular season, that y'all could beat them in the playoffs, i.e. the Atlanta Knicks series. Now, this is what I'm going off of. Let's not make no misunderstanding. Now, that being said, to your point, very good points, I might add, still has to be seen. Regardless of what happened in the past with Donovan Mitchell and Jalen Brunson in the West, yes, it's all true. Not for me to debate, but it still has to be seen. Now, what I will say is this. The Cleveland Cavaliers have a why. They haven't made the playoffs in, I think, since LeBron been there. So, and the last time they got a chance to make the playoffs, we kept them out of the playoffs. And when it comes down to it, Donovan Mitchell, for the most part, always gets past the first round, to my knowledge. I think the Cleveland Cavaliers beat the Knicks in 6 or 7. But I'll give the benefit to the Knicks and say 7. And far as the what you said about what you said before that, you said something else before that.
I said that the season's a bust because you don't get to change the expectations of the season just because it doesn't look like it's going to happen.
Now I didn't change the expectations because it didn't look like it was going to happen. I changed. Well, again, I'm speaking for the fans as much of them that agree with me that the championship bus was supposed to be based on a group, a team, and that team was supposed to have KD and Kyrie on it because they're superstars. Now that this isn't our group, because the group changed, not necessarily because, and again, Sean Marks did the retooling to where it's not a bust for him by firing Nash and hiring Jacques Vaughn. Like, I think if we keep this ship the way it is, it will sink. I want to make sure it stays afloat and stays sailing. By KD and Kyrie leaving, being able to get acquisitions, players on the team that can still get you to the playoffs is the reason why I consider this a success and not a failure. If KD and Kyrie all supposed to be taking us to the championship, but in that 4-season stint, they only got us to the second round, with us having aspirations to be a championship contending team every season that they were on the roster, for us to reach the same ceiling that KD and Kyrie did in 4 seasons in 1 season is the reason why I consider it a success when it comes down to the Brooklyn Nets. We retooled, got players that we could be instrumental to building our roster and future and culture. Oh, yeah, I'm hyped. And I hope we see the 76ers sooner than later.
Listen, man. Again, that just proves expecting us to be there. The fact that y'all had to trade away y'all superstars, failure. The fact that the expectations from y'all going to championship in the same season makes it a failure. You feel me? Like, it's a failure, bro. No matter how you try to slice it, no matter what eloquent soliloquy you try to spin on it, it's a failure, bro. It's a failure. Y'all had championship aspirations going into the season, and they were gone midway through the season because you had to trade away your superstars. That's a failure. If you have to trade away both of your superstars mid-season, that's a failure, bro. There's no way you could slice that better. Next season, you talk about it being a success if y'all make it to the second round. Now, next season, I'll be like, yeah, that's a success for y'all. But this season is a failure. Right now, this season, when y'all was supposed to be the team, the guys, the powerhouse in the East, and it didn't work out in your way, and Sean Marks had to try to save face and bring back and try to erase a mistake that he made by trading Spencer Dinwiddie in the first place. You don't get credit for bringing back somebody you shouldn't trade it in the first place. It's like, I fucked up. Please come back. Let me try. No, you don't get credit for that. You wasn't supposed to trade him in the first place.
True. But y'all did it too. Y'all did it with Tim Hardaway Jr.
Oh no. Yeah, nah. I hated that we brought him back. I never thought that was a cover-up or a success. I didn't want Tim Hardaway Jr. back. That wasn't something that I was happy for. He could have stayed whatever the fuck he was at. And when we got rid of him, I was even more happy. So it's not the same. Y'all bringing Spencer Dinwiddie back to try to make up for mistakes that y'all made. You know, because y'all shouldn't have traded him in the first place. Like we was right to let Tim Hardaway Jr. go the first time, and bringing him back the second time was even a bigger mistake. Because look, he ain't that man like that over in Dallas on the Dallas New York Knicks, because that's what they are. They got all our rejects over there, the Dallas New York Knicks. You feel me? And look, and they ain't got no success with all our rejects. This is why we got rid of all those guys. You feel me? But anyway, you know what I mean? Like, nah, you don't get to change it midway through, bro. The season had an expectation
from a Knicks fan perspective, how we look at it. We're not coming to Knicks fans looking for validation. We telling y'all what it is.
Y'all trying to save face,
bro.
Y'all trying to save face. Y'all got egg on your face, and now y'all be like, "Yo, we happy if we just make the second round." Man, fuck out of here.
We made the playoffs. We a playoff team, and again, I reiterate: no other team that's ahead of us, the Knicks included, 1 through 5, had to do what we did and still compete. Now, mind you, last season, we went from 1 to 11 to make it to 7. This season, the difference is we went from 2 to 6 and held that. We went to the playoff play-in for like a game or two, max. And then after that, we was pretty much consistent 2 through 6 as a playoff team. So we competed more. We were a better, well-knitted team, and we weren't relying on a superstar to get us to the next level. And that's the difference from our team this season and last season. As far as Sean Marks and Dinwiddie would left playing as good as he was playing then, and he picked up right where he left off, playing just as good or better than he was. And when they asked him about it in a post-game interview, he said we were new, wet behind the ears when we first got in the playoffs with that group. But with this group, we were a little more well-seasoned. You got McHale and Twin. They went to the finals. You got me and Doe. He talking about himself, Spence and Doe. They went to the Western Conference Finals. Like, this ain't what y'all think it is. And we're cool with being the favorite underdogs. We get it. But again, like, I would consider y'all fan friends. So I'm just giving y'all take heed to what I'm saying. So when it happens, you'll say, I bestowed this wisdom upon y'all, and you won't feel no way like I slighted y'all. Y'all would know that my wisdom was given to you guys on Saturday.
Listen, when KD and the Phoenix Suns make it to the finals, that proves your season is even a bigger failure because you traded away the guy that's going to the finals. You feel me? Oh, the Knicks organization looking better than the next organization right now. Absolutely, all day in America. That's a fact. You feel me? That's a fact. Because we didn't trade away our whole team chasing after superstars and try to bring everybody back this time around. Nope. When we had our chance to trade away everybody for a superstar, we said, nope, we're good. We're going to stay pat. We're going to keep our young guys. Look at the way our young guys playing, right? Yeah, look, Y'all still drifting on the memory. Those days are over, bro. Stop trying to live on those past. Those days is over. You can't take those into the next season. You couldn't take those wins into this season. It's over for that. You know what I mean? Y'all getting packed up in the first round. The Knicks organization is looking like the better organization in the city. That's a fact. Because Sean Marks had y'all looking like the laughing stock of the NBA this year. You feel me?
Shout out to Rick Brunson.
What
Rick
you
Brunson
talking
got
about?
y'all looking good. Shout out to him.
Yeah.
Shout out to Rick Brunson.
Shout out to Leon Rose, Worldwide West. Shout out to my man Scott Perry, who laid the groundwork for everything that's happening right now before any of those guys got here. So what are you talking about? You feel me? Shout out to Coach Tommy
without
T.
Jalen Brunson and Rick Brunson, I don't see y'all successful. That's what I'm talking about.
We were successful before they got here. So what are you talking about? We was in that same year that we went to the playoffs. Everybody had us winning 20-something games that year. 20-something. Going into the season, the expectation for the Knicks was to win 20-something games. We end up winning 42 and going to the playoffs. Would I rather have seen us go farther? Absolutely. But that season wasn't a failure, not by a long shot, because the year before that, absolutely. The year before that, we won 17 games before we went to the playoffs. So that year that we went to the playoffs the first time, absolutely, that was a successful season. And there's no way in the world that you go from being a 17-win team to a championship contender in 3 years. That don't happen like that. It's a process. You feel me? It's a process.
I know.
And we're still in that process. And that process started before Leon Rose got there, before Worldwide West got there, before Coach Tommy T got there. And I always give credit to Scott Perry. He's the only GM that don't get the credit and the president get all the credit for. You know what I mean? Like, Sean Marks is not the president of basketball operations. He's the GM.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So when everything that happened with the Brooklyn Nets and the trades and the signings, Sean Marks get the credit. Scott Perry don't get that credit with the signing. And when you look at the contract we sign and how we sign it, Scott Perry's DNA all over that. Team-friendly contracts. When we started to break down our salary cap, because we was over the salary cap tremendously when we had Kristaps Porzingis and Tim Hardaway Jr., all those guys. We was well over the salary cap. Then we brought in the new guys. It was 1 year, 2-year deals with the second year being a team option. That started the flexibility. Then we started acquiring draft capital. Then the Julius Randle extension, with him leaving with like 70-something million on the table to stay with the Knicks. Jalen Brunson coming, pause, and his contract being front loaded, so it gets cheaper every year that he's here. RJ Barrett contract being heavily incentive based. Like these signs got Perry's business all over it. You feel me? And he deserves credit. He deserves a lot of credit. It's not just Rick Brunson. It sounds nice. It's funny. Ha ha ha. But that's not the case, because Rick Brunson wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Coach Tommy T. That's a fact. Because they have a working relationship. Before he was Coach Tommy T's assistant coach in Chicago. And if Rick Brunson wasn't here, I still think we had a strong case to get Jalen Brunson. Coach Tommy T's known Jalen Brunson since he was a baby. So it sounds nice. It sounds nice. It sounds nice. That's a salty take from a salty GM. That's a salty take from a salty owner.
That's what I heard.
Bro, I'm saying you're using a salty.
No, but that's what they say.
You're using a salt. Listen to what I'm saying. I'm saying you're using a salty take from a salty owner. I'm not saying that's your individual take. I hear you spreading gossip. You feel me? You like to spread gossip.
No, I'm just saying what they say. That's the NBA streets.
There's a salty, and the NBA streets got that from a salty owner that's mad that he didn't spend the bread that he should have spent on a budding superstar. You feel me? Because what Jalen Brunson did in the playoffs last season, the pack Donovan Mitchell up, should have been more than enough for Mark Cuban to spend whatever bread to keep the kid. You know what I mean? Because Luke was hurt when they for most of that series when they packed him up. Luka came back, they lost. You feel me? And it was crazy. You said something earlier about you want to use the history of the Atlanta series, but want to sneeze at or why you want to use the history of the Atlanta series or why the Knicks may lose, but want to sneeze at the fact that Jalen Brunson packed Donovan Mitchell up last year. You feel me?
I didn't sneeze at the fact.
You did. You was like, yeah, I get it, but that's not enough. No, what you mean? But you're gonna use the Atlanta series as a reference point of why we might lose. I'm telling you, it's a different team. And look at what Donovan Mitchell did. I mean, look what Jalen Brunson did to Donovan Mitchell without Luka Doncic. You feel me? Without him,
but it's still two different teams.
Sent him home, and bro, he been packing him up like that was a taste of the playoffs. That last game. That game wasn't a regular season. I was watching the game. That wasn't regular season atmosphere, bro. Donovan Mitchell was giving his absolute all that game. He had 41. He had 41. He was balling. Yo, they scored. They were shooting like 80% in the first quarter, bro. The Cavaliers.
I peeped in. I checked some of it out. I wanted to see it because I knew it was going to be playoff atmosphere.
Yeah. So that game alone, like I never felt that about any of the Hawks games when we played them that year. Like that was playoff atmosphere. That game, that felt like a playoff game. You feel me? And I saw all I needed to see, and the reason why we win is because of the heart and the grip we play with, because that's what won that game. Both teams was on fire. What won that game was getting the extra possessions, guys diving on the floor for the basketball. You know what I mean? Great defensive effort on our part. And the Cavaliers is a good defensive team too. You feel me? Yeah. But we just wanted more. We was more hungry than them. And I think that's what's going to continue to happen. We got heart, they don't. And that's all puns intended, bro. And I digress again. Yeah.
No, bro. I hear you, man. I know you're not gonna stay long. We did an hour. But again, man, I reiterate. I look forward to the play-in and the playoffs. I'm glad we're not a play-in team. I'm glad I'm not a play-in vlogger because last season going into the play-in was stressful. We was on a 5-game win streak. We went versus Cleveland, and that was a tough matchup. And they felt like a lot of fans felt like we only won because Jaron Allen wasn't there. Whether it be true or not, we got to the playoffs through a grueling game versus the Cleveland Cavaliers, and I'm glad we ain't got to be in the play-in again. But yeah, man, we play Philly tomorrow. I think we win that game. I know Jacques Vaughn. He play the starters just to gain as much chemistry before the playoffs as possible. We're gonna play that at full speed. I don't think we're gonna let anybody sit for rest, but we may. I don't know. But I definitely want to go into the I want to definitely go into the playoffs with a win streak. And today is what, the 8th, right? Today's the 8th.
Yeah.
So next week, Saturday, the playoffs start. So we'll be here and I'll do more predictions on that day. But yeah, man. I'm gonna do the recap after that too, man. But yeah, man, like I was saying, man, shout to Tea Time and all the Knicks fans. You want to stay longer or what you trying to do?
I'm about to pack this up. I got things to do, man.
And yeah, man, we're a playoff team. Shout to all the Nets fans that's been rocking with us the whole season, man. We've been here every week. We went from Friday to Saturday. Y'all continuously support us. I appreciate all y'all. Even the Knicks fans, yeah, man. Shout to y'all too, Nets fans and Knicks fans. We in here. And yeah, man, have a good weekend, man. We play tomorrow. I'll be back for the recap for that. And I see y'all next Saturday, man.
Oh, yeah. I'm about to dip, too, because we play in like 15 minutes for real. No, that's tomorrow.
Today?
I'm bugging. Nah, that's tomorrow. I'm bugging. I don't know in my mind. I thought today was Saturday for like 2 seconds. Yeah, but nah.
Sunday, you mean?
Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah. I thought today was Sunday for like 2 seconds. But
there's a playoff atmosphere. I understand. You wasn't here last year, so it just might be a little, you know what I mean?
Bro, you
was barely playoff there. Atmosphere. Just playoff, breathe in playoffs, breathe out atmosphere.
Listen,
playoffs, atmosphere. We had, man. We had.
Listen, bro. You were barely there. You were barely there. You were barely there.
Real.
You didn't even get to do a happy vlog the whole playoffs. You feel me? Your whole playoffs that you wasn't even happy, breezy. You had nothing to be joyous about in the playoffs. You were just like, yeah, next game. Yeah, I'm when I do my recaps, it's gonna be joy and jubilation. You feel me? Like you don't even know what that feel like. You feel me?
I do.
So boom. Yo, appreciate
First
y'all for
round, the second round. I did a
like,
vlog like that. Y'all did a vlog like that? You did a vlog like that?
What, the second
From
round?
First round to second round. I did a first round and second round vlog before. You did one of those?
Nah, I haven't. Yeah, but that was a long time ago. I'm surprised you even remember what I'm surprised you even remember what that feel like. You know what I mean?
I gotta get that feeling back. I gotta get it.
You remember what that feel like. But yeah. Yeah, but SRK said we're gonna get swept the first round. Yeah, you know all about that, don't you? Huh? You know all about getting swept in the first round, huh?
That's SRK, man.
He's the guy out here talking crazy. Like, bro, you need to worry about your team getting swept in the first round. You talk about my team getting swept in the first round. You know what I mean?
Not this.
Yo, listen, SRK. If your team gets swept in the first round, please pull back up. You know what I mean? Don't disappear on your boy. You know what I mean? Because I'm gonna remember that comment. So yeah, please pull back up.
You gonna pull up? He pull up on my page. He ain't Nets fan. He gonna pull up.
Yeah. No. I'm just want now. Sometimes people they disappear, man. We've seen it. Nah, I don't smoke. See, that's the crazy part. You know what I mean? Yo, listen, man. Yo, Barry, it's gonna happen. It's starting to get nice, man. You know what I mean? It's starting to get nice. It's starting to get nice. Let me let me get my old bones moving again, man. You feel me? Let me get my old bones moving again, man, because I ain't touching basketball since we was at the park. You know what I mean? So I gotta get back on the court real quick. But it's gonna happen, man. I got smoke for you and Big Fan Breezy. Don't worry about it. Like, smoke is coming this summer.
I want my one-on-one with Marlon, Kevin T-Time, especially Marlon, because I play Kevin T-Time and Marlon talking heavy.
I don't know. Like, I haven't seen Marlon play basketball, but he said he like 6'5", bro. That's different. 6'5"? He said he like 6'5", bro. That's different. I don't want no smoke with Marlon, bro.
Man. Listen, man, it's all good, man. I'm ready to compete, man.
I was on the live with Marlon. He's like, yeah, I'm like 6'5" or something like that. 6'4", 6'5". He around that range, right? And I'm like, what? Oh, I'm not playing basketball against you, bro.
You're gonna see, man.
I'm good. I don't want no smoke with Marlon on the basketball court, bro. And he's not a skinny 6'5", bro. Like,
Kenny Lofton ass. I got you.
It's gonna be a lot of post work, man. I don't know.
You gonna see, man. Listen, I'm gonna be there. I mean, you know what I mean? Like I'm gonna be there, so we'll see. You know what I mean? I don't just want to win by forfeit, neither. So we'll see. You know what I mean? Because you forfeit if you don't show up. So
I don't know if he's good at basketball. You know what I mean? Because I've never seen him play. Because I know quite a few tall guys who can't play. I'm not saying Marlon can't play. I don't know. But if he could play a little bit, that's difficult, bro. That's tough. Yo, but I'm out of here, man. I appreciate every last one of y'all. Y'all already know the vibes. See y'all next week. Nick fans, I will see y'all tomorrow after the game. I'm pretty sure it's going to be more of the same with the kids. None of the starters really playing. Maybe RJ might get some run. But other than that, it's going to be like they not that. You said you could beat Marlon in one-on-one. Barry, I don't know if he's good or not. But I know the fact that he's 6'5".
Money on Barry.
He's 6'5" and solid. You feel me? Like, that's a lot of post work. Can nobody do if he decide to post people up? Can none of y'all do nothing with him? You feel me? None. If you decide I'm just gonna go here, post up, spin move, score, spin the other way, score. You feel me? Like, there ain't nothing y'all can do with that. But I get the optimism, Barry. Like, you feel me? I don't think you could beat me, so I'm not sure if you could beat.
You talking like he play like Charles Barkley? You better make sure he don't play like Charles Gnarly.
I just said it. I said, yo, I said, I don't know if he's good or not, but if he's good, if he's okay, that's difficult to deal
he
with.
could be sloppy footed, you know. We'll see, you know. He
Yeah,
gotta
that's what
show
I'm saying.
up.
That's why I preferenced it, prefaced it by saying if he could play, it's gonna be difficult, man.
We
Yeah, I
gotta
mean, but
see.
yo, appreciate y'all. We out of here.
Yo, stay up, y'all.